Hey guys, I hope that you're all well and that you've been very gentle with everything that you've been traversing during this chaotic cosmic weather we have been having. I realized that I haven't updated my YouTube for a little bit, and there is good reason to that because while I had some phenomenal experiences, absolutely life changing, and I'm not the same person that I was when I left, nor when I was even there, um, a lot has happened that was unexpected and really difficult to deal with while I was traveling. And so I've been really just focusing on myself and being more intentional with where I'm placing or investing my energy. And with this, I will at some point update my videos and my Traveling E-Bunny Facebook page, where I've been posting a more in-depth video not video diary, journal on there for people to experience my travels, live vicariously through me. But I'll get back to that at another stage. Right now, I'm going through a very massive transition while being at home. I have recently, my main relationship ended, and I'm not going to go into that, but I've moved out and I'm utilizing and harnessing the energy of this time with the fact that we just had a solar eclipse on the new moon a few days ago, in fact. Eclipses for me, especially solar eclipses for me, have typically been a time where it is a complete ending and new beginning of one or more things in my life. And the way that I have learnt to transition through these times is in ways that assist my, like, resetting my mental health, my physical health, and just really infusing and resetting my healthy habits in my life. So with moving out and setting a energetic structure in the place that I'm now living in, which is incredibly beautiful, right next to Macrobat Mountain, it is a really important time to not fall back into self-sabotage and unhealthy behaviors and patterns. So I've been really intentional with how I've been since I've been back, and although part of me wants to fall back into past habits and just literally do as much of nothing as possible for a little bit, I've also learned that there are many forms of rest and rejuvenation. And though I'm still quite tired and emotionally drained and rejuvenating my energy, recultivating my energy and my vitality, I know that staying on top of these healthy habits will really help me. And I know that this message will resonate for everybody, or at least most people who watch this video, especially if you are someone who does want to be intentional with your life and live consciously and live your fullest potential and live your best life. So this morning I started off with a couple of Joe Dispenza meditations on YouTube. One is about waking up in the morning and basically setting your mindset for the day, which is absolutely important. And we don't have to listen to a meditation to do that. We can just think about positive affirmations about ourselves, what we appreciate, being appreciative of what we have experienced in our life up until now, the hidden blessings that are occurring in our lives right now, and the blessings yet to come. And so just setting our mindset for the day is really important. Even taking 5 minutes really changes the rest of the flow and structure of the day. Because if we wake up to a screaming alarm clock and there's traffic and there's noise and we're like in a grumpy or angry or ungrateful state of mind and we don't do anything to shift that, then it's going to significantly impact how we see ourselves, how we interact with others, how we see others. We're not going to be able to see life as clearly as possible. So one of my things personally is that I really love to see through illusions, my own, including my own patterns, my own limiting behaviors, beliefs, etc., to see myself, others, and reality with crystal clear clarity as much as is possibly available in every moment. So setting our mindset really helps. Next, I listen to a surrender meditation because I feel, for me and for a lot of people close to me at the moment, surrender is absolutely essential. It is a very potent key at the moment, and it honestly is a life-changing thing in itself. The more we're able to do and take action with what we have and what we can, and to surrender the rest, because ultimately, whether you believe in a higher source or not, as a human, that is all we can do. If we don't surrender, then we cause ourselves more pain and suffering than is necessary, and honestly, there is more than enough of that in the world, don't you think? And we are going through more than enough to add more pain, stress, and suffering into our lives. So that's my words of wisdom for you for that. And so after my meditation, I brushed my teeth and I came out to this beautiful space here to stretch and to breathe, to do another little 5-minute present mindfulness meditation. And I also found, as I was moving, this little buddy. Sorry for the movement. If you've seen one of these, you would know that there's different exercises you can do to roll out and stretch your muscles. And boy, were some of them intense. But I'm really glad that I did it. And honestly, that's why I bought it, right? So I could do these things. And so when I saw it, or rather when I came out here and I was doing my stretches and breathing and my little meditation, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do some rolly out stretches because my body is hurting. It also would help to condition my body over time. And I want to maintain this level and depth of fitness that I've been experiencing over the last 2 or so months, because it was amazing walking around so much and adventuring and going into beautiful sacred spaces, and the amount of energy that I had while over there as well was phenomenal. Like, I have worked diligently, even like for many years, like the last 13 years of my life, I've been really focusing on restoring my vitality and my health, because I was really unwell at points where I couldn't even get out of bed. And it wasn't about my mind. It wasn't about mind over matter. I was actually really unwell. And it took a long time to be able to learn what tools, techniques, methods work for me, and to sift through the mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, what shall we call it, junk, to recompost it and to restore my vitality, which I mean, I've just been traveling and I've been emotionally exhausted, not to mention been bombarded by dark forces that I've just cleared consistently through my travels and being back. So don't don't look at me and think, oh, but you don't really look as vital as you're saying. But it has made a massive difference. Things like doing qigong practices help immensely. Even just tapping on on our lower back wakes up our energy, circulates it, and gives us more energy. And things like shaking our body, just like animals do when they have a stress response, is one of the fastest ways to relieve stress. And it's all well and good to know and have these tools and techniques. It's even more important to know when and like what state of our nervous system we're in to be able to utilize these techniques in a way that is beneficial and can like rapidly accelerate moving through and recomposting shit that we are going through in our lives. Because even in these hard, heart-wrenching, gut-aching moments of life that we experience, there is still immense goodness to come from that, and that has already come from that. There are hidden blessings and there are blessings yet to come. So I hope that this gives you a little more confidence in yourself, a little more ability to trust yourself and the universe, or just yourself while you go through these monumental changes. Because if we go around thinking that life hates us, everyone's against us, and continue to put that out in the universe, that's what we're going to receive from our mind and the way that we perceive others and the world and our interactions. However, if we remember that we love ourselves, even the darkness is there for reasons to assist us in our growth and evolution, and that the universe does love us. It is a benevolent universe, and everything is conspiring in our favor. And if we can be our worst enemy, we can absolutely be our own best friend, no matter what. And for me, something that has really clicked over the last couple of months is how deeply I have infused a solid foundation of love within myself, that even when I was going through battling dark forces, and I know some of you probably won't have any idea of what I'm talking about, but other entities and energies that were actually making things a lot more difficult for me and influencing my state of mind and the way that I was thinking about myself. The very last experience that I had, I was breaking down in the shower, having suicidal thoughts, having the most horrible thoughts, and yet I had a very strong voice that was overriding all of it, saying, you can do this, you can break through, you will find a way. And Anthony Robbins is one of the most incredible inspirations that I've had about breaking through and finding a way. And my voice, my inner voice, was stronger than any of the horrible thoughts that I was having. And even though I believed them for a moment and thought I was failing and that I couldn't do it, that voice got louder and louder until I regained my motor functions, and I was able to do bilateral, when like you cross your arms and you tap one side then the other. Bilateral tapping, in fact I'll show you, for 90 seconds, which helps to reset our nervous system. So even just doing this once a day can help you immensely. I'm not sure why it's for 90 seconds, but you can research further into that if you like. So what was most significant out of that experience for me is that even though I was surrounded by all of the darkness and they were influencing me in my mind, my inner voice that I have cultivated within myself through the last 13 years of diligently being on top of my thoughts, my patterns, the things that I don't know about myself as much as I possibly can, the reflections and filtering of other people, tuning out other people's voices to come back to my center, to really know and feel and trust my own intuition and be guided and navigate through the tools and techniques and the unseen and the seen beings that help me every single day, and the energy clearing techniques, and my psychic mediumship development, and everything has worked toward giving me a solid foundation for what I have had to face and chosen to face this year. Because if I didn't have that, I would not be functioning. I can tell you that much. Everything that I experienced, like from the beginning of the year until now, the last 9 months have been really, really challenging, and they have initiated me with everything that I took my time to really sit with and learn and embody over the last 13 years. And it was like, okay, let's see what your mastery is at now with all these challenges. And though I feel there are some instances where the suffering was unnecessary, and I will stand by that, I believe that there is some suffering in this world that is absolutely unnecessary to the degree that we experience it and to the degree that the collective experiences it. However, ultimately, it does bring us what we need, and it shows us where we're at and the strength and the resilience and the capacity that we have. And then from that moment, when we truly, I believe, when we truly learn and embody and integrate those lessons, or that lesson, life shifts. Because when we shift something within us, our whole external reality shifts to mirror that change. And I don't even want to say that that's a belief anymore, because I have experienced it so much. But for the sake of this conversation, we'll just call it a belief. When we believe something, we see it mirrored in the world. And so going back to what I said before, if we think that everyone in the universe and everything is against us, that's what we're going to experience. Wherever we put our intention is what flows, So there is a better way of saying that statement. But right now, that's the best I can give you. So enjoy. Yeah, so life is happening for us. I choose to believe that life is happening for me, and that everything that I experience through me is for me, and anything that isn't for me is easily able to be dissolved, or more and more easily able to be dissolved. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was listening to meditations by Marissa Peer on self-love, on being enough, on knowing and trusting that what we desire, like what our heart truly desires, is what desires us too. And we are constantly attracting that and more into our lives as we let go of what isn't serving us and what has served its purpose, and really knowing within ourselves what is true and what is an illusion. And that takes time. That can take time. And sometimes it can happen like a lightning bolt coming through, like a sudden change. And we are having a lot of those moments at the moment too, because Uranus is at play, and Uranus is the unexpected changes that we have been experiencing, amplified by the eclipses. So I'm not going to go too much into astrology, because I've also been letting go of false belief systems and just taking everything spiritual with a grain of salt, essentially. Maybe a little bit more than a grain of salt. And then tuning into myself, feeling how my body feels about it, my intuition feels about it, my head, my heart, and seeing how they are all communicating to me, and if everything's in alignment, and then seeing the reflections out there. It's not that I just see a sign and go, oh yeah, that means this for me. It's like there's a lot more to it. And I'm also aware of reticular activation, of our reticular activation system, that what we focus on we'll see. So I've learned over time to tune into my mind, my body, my heart, my soul, my yoni even, to know my truth, and that helps me navigate the world. That is what helps me move through changes with more ease than I could have imagined was possible 13 years ago. And yeah, I do these videos because I love sharing about my life, and I love the connection that it brings me with other people. I love inspiring other people by just being who I am and doing what I do. And if that sends positive ripples throughout the world, then that feels good for me, you know? And I don't know if I will ever truly know the amount of people that I reach. However, that's not important. What's important is that I'm doing what feels right and best and true to me and expressing myself, because it took me a long time to be able to just be me unashamedly, as much as I could in every moment, and express myself in the ways that I truly desired to express myself, desired and desire to express myself. And if other people can go around being rude and mean and just absolutely disrespectful and dishonoring, then I can absolutely go around being kind and loving and gentle and soft and put those ripples out through the world. I was the one who gave myself permission to do that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. I am aware that, and I have been for a while, that when I speak, I'm also speaking to myself. And so this is deeply healing and rejuvenating for me, as much as I hope that it has been for you. I won't take any more of your time today. Thank you for choosing to be here. Not just here on this video with me, but in this life, at this crazy time in life where there's monumental shifts happening collectively, let alone personally, in our lives. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for continuing to do your best and to shine bright and take the best care of yourself and the people that are in your lives, because life is short. We never really truly know how long we have with somebody in our lives, so we may as well make the most of it, right, in each moment. Beautiful blessings of death is what has reminded me of that constantly. And even before my dad passed away, Vixen passed away, and my grandfather passed away, I was already doing my best to live life to its fullest, and it has just further been strengthened. It is up to us how we decide to be. Like, we need to acknowledge our emotions and acknowledge if there's any immediate threat or danger that we can take action on, and then we can allow ourselves to flow with more ease and gentleness and grace, and give ourselves grace and other people grace as we work and play and dance and shift and elevate and grow and evolve and expand through life. Thank you for being here. I love you. and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.